𝗟𝗲𝘁'𝗀𝗲𝗏. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. My dear brothers and sisters in the Gambia and wherever you are in the world, yéen suma mbokki Gambia maa ngi leen a nuyu yéen yëpp ak fu ngeen mun di nekk ci àdduna. Man Malik Mané maa fi ñëw pour start waxtaan yi ma de am ak yéen to géej naa fi tuuti waay li ma xala feebar moo tax ngeen géej maa gis fii because dama amoon soj boo xam ne taxoon na sa suma docteur bi sa bëggoon maa gis mu ne il faut ma am coronavirus test njëkka su ko defee ma koolaat ko su boobu ñëwee result bi ma kool su ma amee result boobu ma door koo kool si la ma mun a wax ndax dina ma gis as appointment wala dama toog kër su dee am na COVID-19 ma toog kër den ñu yónnee ma suma garab yi xaw ma yo mbaɗigol mbal be konton la bi naal be na kacale la kaca mi yalon ka be tilin na duniya kuwol le kan kata na banko be rada minto anin be ñatilin kan duniya fanan na ñamin kuwol min be ke kan duniya kuwol min yalon ko hani amam futantol la fanan bara aben batandila ñamin bimbe na wole kacala katu kulle be kerin duniya kono bi min yalon ko mo jamal mantara fokan ba tubabol min ba fokan fana wol fanan ebe momon karo min betiata itol fe ka fo wole nyama so wole yati nan tol africanol fana nyanta jibela le min be kerin na kontineta ben tol batandila nyamin yajal ndol fana nyanta woto jibela la woton sello la long kadu dunia bi afutata dulal to dami ya long ko ameta woto le ajal musa si inimbara bake to ninga jibe ntolla banko biya be daminto walati nan nabi dia mo abe tilin na baken na mansa kunda le kan katu ntenga mira minkana ni wonota alan tol batando wo boro mo man sakunda doron neti wala be wo bondino lan tol kan tariya nyama wala bi tolla man sakunda ye ibe kokun ke kan ya jibe duniya beta kan nyamin wala ti na nyin programme ngase a many platforms le ya jël pour ase futa mo jamal la nyaadi le ya je duniya kono biring bi mansi kele jamal le keta duniya kono kelol mini yalonko i manken tol africano la keloti bari aketa nyaawnya nan tol nga do mandingo kala mutale katu itol min ke tare la kelola iba jibela le dulal min sutiyati tol la dulal le la tagetolla aning mingse wo kelo sono ya nine tol bulu coming America aning Angleterre ya Gambia ke itol la best nyaming isaje ni dunta kelo wo kolen kono Gambia la position of bedamento. It's a good base for them. Ila pleno nitita anywhere from America or UK. It's a land no ila base otole in Gambia. From there, it's a take off no water like a sutiya word lala. So iba jala leko. Hani sign tolte kananola wokelol. Bare mbadi ngol bi niaje nganyin kele kuwa na fe. Wolem nyinti intela mira roto ngajele bi dunia kata nyaming indunga meta folal de birinte be dindi yaring biring kele dunia la kele folo e ka fole dunia la kelo bari tubabo la kelo lem ila kele folo biri woketa i bodaje e ko fulanjango binala le wo kele fulanjango nata wo banda tu momen na tubabo me fanyo kelo la e be kelo kay kam mim fokoko kele sumaya ringo itol kamin fo Cold War wolem kele sumaya ringoti I continuete la tu kelo la le bari a kelo man kido man fay ida mal le kadu nyokote iba jibele be nyotinya la nyaming yaji den spy ol trate tema minni ketam hadamba dingol timmini yalan koy ke train le ye dunyin sate do kono ye tara wo sate kono wolta lonna ko iye tol sambanan dalilo min kama puruka wala kullo jibe kana murundi tolla banko kan puri tol fanan sala wolbe min ke kan yaje dunia beta kan tenne nin ko dunia bi ntolla banko nal yajibe namman sakundala fanko na how to call it na banko kodo nal yajibe bi tubabol dabe je bakele because dolka IMF moyle bari malong IMF mu mineti ibe lori mine fango bundato itolla hajo mu mineti dunia kono yaje bari ila tageto mu Africa leti Africa mi yalon ko tuba bolla baluwo be bokan jele to katu bi ka do ko ke feo fenna e ka kodo soto je kodi keso soto je isala wo fengo fem wo fengo mi yade da pour ka kodu ba soto je isala ko fem fula betar la kono le mi yalon ko abe bola Africa banko le kan ni wo fem fulo mantara wo masingo kono wala wo jorango kono ate beti ano la ate complete la no yaji so nyimf ko le ati na tubabol mantol bula Africa kono barbi mbe nyanta damin jibela wala mbintol Gambia mbe depending tubabol kanyamin na dependency tol kan being the food we eat, the things that make us happy in the Gambia, 3/4 of it, or almost all of it, is from this part of the world. So this is why when this part of the world is heading into what is likely going to be a war, then we the Africans should rethink again. And the best way to think is, how can we reduce our dependency on this part of the world so that when they get into their war, it will not affect us. But the way we are today, if God forbid this became a war between the Europe and America, then the Gambia will be the first country to feel the pinch. Why? My brothers and sisters, let us look at our life in Gambia. Things we're doing in our country that make us happy. And food is number one of it. If all of those things that we are eating today is coming from this part of the world, how do we think if this war that has been going on between the Western people, because today what the mainstream media is telling you is not what is happening. I can tell you this. I did my homework, and a lot of people has done that. There will be hardly any African that will stand and say that this war that is happening in Ukraine, it is the way that this West is talking about it, because they have been doing this since we know them. The wars that has been coming in this part of the war, it's about power. But today it's come to a stage that nobody knows where it is going to go. Why? Because Russia is fighting for her integrity within the European countries, including America. This NATO, when the end of the Second World War started, they get into their Cold Wars, spying each other, what we're doing. But what people don't see is what Russia was in those days. How big was Russia? And since the end of that Second World War, people tend to forget how much Russia has lost the countries it had under him. That made him what it is today, Russia. But the NATO countries have started reducing Russia's power, taking all these countries one by one, getting closer to the Russian borders. And every country that they push towards themselves, they will bring their weapons closer to Russia. I am saying this because I am a truthful person. It doesn't matter if I am in England. I am going to say this because this is what I am. I know there are people dying in Ukraine today. There are little women and men dying in there. But let us look at the cause of what is happening in there. Then we will see the truth. What is happening in Ukraine today had happened in Libya before, had happened in other parts of the world. Why? Because of the Western people here, this NATO, what we call NATO, even their citizens are telling them that you, the tops in the government, it is your war, it is not our war. Today I've even read on one of the social media platforms, an African comedian says, he put his back on his head and pick his shoes, and he's saying to how to call it, to our Prime Minister. He edited his speech when he was saying, we will do this to Russia. There are sanctions, so-called sanctions. And this guy made a comment out of it, and he said, look, don't say we, because this is not about us. I'm not part of it. And most people in England are not part of this. So don't say we. If Boris Johnson wants to go and do their thing, let him go and do it. They always did that. Whenever they want to attack people, they use the public name. The last person who did it was Theresa May, the last Prime Minister. And I told her, when he went and dropped that bomb in Syria, because America was there and the NATO was there, then he took the British planes and gave them order to go and join them. They dropped that bomb and he come to us and stood in our parliament to tell us that he did it for the British people. Then the next day I went there. I said, you know, Mrs. Prime Minister, you don't do it for us. If you want to do it for the British people, you would have gone into the House of Parliament and tell them that you was going to give order for the British army to join the NATO or whatever, to go and drop the bomb in Syria. But you didn't. You gave your order until you do what you wanted to do. Then you come to the British public and tell them that you did it for us. You didn't do it for us. And this is what this guy was saying today. He said to Boris Johnson, he said, don't say we. It is we are not part of it. We don't even agree your war or your problem with Russia. It is your problem. But when they create this problem, it's the ordinary people that go and get into these wars. Look at Ukraine yesterday. I saw a video where soldiers are saying goodbye to their families, their children, their wives. Soldiers are turning their back from their family after saying goodbye, and you can see tears running on their cheeks. Why? Where is the Prime Minister of Ukraine? Was it part of that? Was he in uniform going to the war front? No. Where are the ministers of Ukraine? Are they going there? No. They all sit in their Damas offices and using the public. The ordinary poor people of Ukraine are the ones that are fighting that are on the war front today. So it is time for us Africans to be wise. And the thing that I like about this story that I was telling you about, when this African comedian said this, there was a lot of people commenting, and few white people came in as well and said, it's not only you are going to Africa, we will go to Africa as well because we are not part of this war. So if the peace is going to be in Africa, we will go with you. And I commented also, I said, yes, we are all in this together. If we go, we all go. And leave the politicians to fight their war by themselves. And it is high time for the people to wake up. If these politicians want to do whatever, let them keep doing it. But it's high time the general public comes out and says, look, all these wars that have taken place, we don't see you, the government, sending your children, or you yourselves taking uniform and arms and go to the war front. No, it is the general public that you are using for your wars. If you go to America today, how many soldiers are wounded? Wounded soldiers are in America today. Most of them lost their limbs. And those who already lost their lives in those wars that they have created, the last place they came back from was Afghanistan. All the lives that have been dismissed in Afghanistan. All these years they spent there. And finally they just pack up their bags and come home and leave the country back in the hands of the Taliban. So mbadingol al nga nyayele nga jibe dunia kata nyaming. Bi Russia abe daminto ay ni Ukraine min fango attack teng ila nuclear reactor ay gemutale already aba bulo konole. But dunia kono bi banko min na nuclear weapon o siatati amban soto. Niaje this part of Europe be siring hanisaye manku keno Russia la kuoto ya londe min babulu. Endi toli ya londe katato ya minkala. Ye minkala fo bi sita. Itole ya long. But ni tol be la katato ya la. Russia mudlal to mi ya long ko bi ka min be foko Putin beten. Itoli minke Putin la fo bi. I order the purio aita would la attack. Ite wofole la newspaper soldo. But biri bala satel domol kanga bluo kono. Sate wo sate yajibe sako ito nyin dunia nyimma fangola. Isembo ijikita wolela. Wole mu tati. Momo ibe balula nyaming. Ika woleke. Wole la kelol be na fe. But biring dunia la kele fulanjango tambita mol ko dunia la kele sabanjango binalale dol fango kala fako dunia la kele sabanjango dunia be banna jeleto minati na mol ka wofo because ya londe ko bi nyungo be daminto weapon ol le data min ya lon ko kelol min be kita dunia wo weapon sifal nena mam mala imam juice je bar wallahi mbadingol fenne be bulusay mi ya lon ko niya feten dawodanto dunia kelo mam futa daminito hanin to la afrika fango abem batandila le biko fonyo kata dawodanto ni wo futa nim fonyo ye wo futa ndije moliye ni mola ye ni jini wola abe torandila le endon be ni aje dol ba fola ko hanin europeanol ba fola ko neto man hani ka Russia ma yajale dol ba fola ko satel mine be neto koto Russia man wol ma folon ba wo Ukraine man tara euro koto yajale euro e ka wala fo European contribution bankol min yalon ko wolle unite comme tol ka fo nyamin ko Africa nyanta unite lale yajale wo bankol fo na unite wala nyama bari wato minna dunia la kele fulanjango binale tol nin jamanol be kelola wato minna itol damal kafuta nyola le puruye Hitler win no yaje because Hitler natala France star bira France star aya miracle na France star dorong Angleterre fea la bulle purayata body fanang ate fanan nata alaje silado la wolato because bira France star dorong aje ko sambeta Angleterre muta woto la nata je ko Angleterre mu bankundin kilinati nganyim bankol beta but saying afutata nyindo nata koleya bulu nyin banko kilingo dorong ni ajan kanyembe fali nganyini la kelol gibele nge stodile ngajibe minkete tema bi ka min fa abeke ka Ukraine nyimbe bomol mini jolon kanjang Second World War kono angalel ye wonyongo ke Germany kono le sate ba katango mi yalonko a populatale wo wato ko sate kuma balem angalel tatale ye bomol joro wo kan dindingol ne musol bebe la resuto ye wo sate turtumbong barbi Ukraine ko to ete modela ye wona fena example oti biring Americanol nin Japanese solbe kelola ye dewundi ila joran labango ila bom labango e tata min jolong Hiroshima bom e kamin commandi Hiroshima bom la wo sifa wo mama wala be Russianol bulubi yajal nyinna tinna e man koronto ibe sanctionol dorol la lekang bari dula kelin dorom be nyanta jele jibela miyati na Putin wulta nyin kelo kumasi adobato alafta la symbol regain la en na tata a soxita Ukraine adobato abe Poland mala le kotenki wala sate min sutiata wala yajal abe continue la ka woto fanama na woto ma fay sate ma mi yalan ka be onda NATO woto le nyin kelo min be ka borala abe kumasi la because ye tarasto le keko itola neto kono ninsate kilin dunta kelo kan ibe nyanta kafula nyola le yeta ye wo fasa ni wo fasa rosita wotole nyindo min fanambe sire Putin la nyin nuclear bomol minga ke fotenga min parenditeng abe kumasi la wolto aba dunna kungo kono pro kala use endong na woke dore salo ko dunia mbeka silamina wato sitale jorangol lebe tubabol bulu mini yalon ko biri tol fango ba do kula setano le be isondomol kono wo wato because biri be nyin nuclear weapon ol tale be nyo batar lala iba dadala i malon ko i ka nyimmin deda i ka nyine commande nuclear weapon la yajale nyinnem fengoti mi yalon ko ye tol setano lem nyim molti yalon wotu mo ninda ke bal ka nyimfo karanal kafo muka long ikamine foko tubabol mu setano leti tubabol la setane ya mbe wole wato kono saing ila wo setano min be ya kurkuru wole be fe nyola saing bari tol hada badingol mume be mbe dawdan ton se ala dani yaje because ala dole doron sembo soto katambi setanola isaje itol ya doku fo nyen nuclear weapon nolta yededa ate ala subhanahu wa ta'ala se wo kayrol ta ya so dundi sono mol kono fo nyinkelo kana futa nyanta futa la damendo mbadi ngol ni aje nka nyinkelo kumo mume befo nte silata Gambia lela Gambia lem banko te mi ya lonko ama fansoto abe semberi wandi banko lela yaje kelol be nyimma fangol minnete Gambia la nafa be ka bo jamma fangol leto birin na dumorol lembang nka fengol mini kem balol bala na city fengol feo fenga ka bonan jamma fangol bara fele bi tuba bol be la kodol tala because yen Russia sanction nyaming ila kool min bebe dundi ñokono saynga bebe kumas kande ka jahas yajal so jang wato fanam bina silan tol mo fingol mini be jang alnga start kamira na kodol min be nyim banko kan nga mira ke murundi back home yata sije because tubabol ninkelo nate la banko ke kam min follow ke kodo ika wala follow sorong indum bi wobe kumasi ka Russia la biri ye jeng saxono le kan bank ila bank abe mako e kande sa mbadna tambita wala dore be wo bank jalale ibe mol fango stop la ka kodo bondi wo bankol kono katu minem kelo ka dépense ning kodo lela sontol africanol minina tambe sirinja ngana kodo doku ibe agalela bankol kono alnga kumasi kamira ngana kodo fintindi ngate nga kenna banko kan ndanga wo advice ole soto bi insena nga mim fali kula be kere mini alonko wallahi bi news all mimbe mainstream news all mini be jang e mantara tonya fokan banku dingol fangoy because e mantara foke nyinkelo mini ya sabu itolbe mini ke kanyem Russia no la fo bi kelo wato nata nyini kan imbuka wolfo e ka mem fo jammol yedro wolem ko Russia no la president mu nyama toledi yaji nyama tolem abe nyamati yalla be dindingol fala abe musol fala Ukraine banko kan e ka jindoron ne fo jammol ye yaji bari tolye minke fo Hitler fonyin Putin ya kumas ka boyim banko kan itol buka wo fola molie kati yalo ne niya fo yedorong ibe tonya jelale bar nyenem tonya ti niaje put in wulta ya korinile nyen the same problem o enen arabo le nyem the same problem le soto enen mini be kelo la kati wolfanang iwla misil me moy wuluta kono imu molleti min yalanko yela ado sotole ilate la adola babri tol tubabol fudate tolle wolko e kon tol malla fal tol la nam malla final la ko fango e soño kan katu minem ntol ngam fansum ntol mum fansum mollet yaji so biring yela demokrasi ni la ko tubab ko na fe na wo bo bankota e kadami commande Afghanistan la yajal wala mol min yalon ko wala balambati molle yalon ko mala fikela ya falling wala wulita idunta wulol kono yaje because itol ikoy fa wala fisiata fa ye duntu ba bolla kuwol kono so nyinne wo kelo na fe but ni tol be wo fola dunia ye buka foye wo nyaba kon tolle tati ya tolle tatam fam forcé tol ya yajal kanna ideal na mirarol sambe tol kan ye kelo je dawdan to doron alon ko tuba bolle tata yela ideal ta yela mirarol ta ye samba wo banko kan minni balante ni wala ka problem wol soto wala minni lafta ko kala mi yalon ka be tol batan dilale abe tol la ko murundila ko male ise kelo boy wo kan wala nan ko setane molle muyti ila wo setane ya wala futande bi be daminto amunta bi tol bebe lawrence bebe sirin suse kilo le kan nim mamma ku ay tay to bi dunia be lori wala nyama be ne ajibe sate mimpe be news moy la dawlanto dorong ika Russia ne Ukraine la moy je Russia Ukraine barsay Russia dunta Ukraine bi ka fula ka no la dol ka fula ka te no la capitalo ko non ko natara lot alafta capitalo le important ay abe futala wala foloto ba minem ila nuclear reactor wala important ay fo bira dunta Ukraine kono wala tine ko kunum ay jemu tale sayin ababulo kon badi ngol kule be tubabol kono mi yalonko ntol mo fingol jamabe jam fango mano biko biri nin nata jam nkad na do kuol nka hame wala kan nga singa comfortable ntenda do na tubabol la kuol fango to kajibe ibe mun kulela ba tubabol de mete la kuol jibe la le biri la kelol fango nkan na time waste la fang kela kotol be jibe kajibe mun le yatin na mun dalil le yatin ne wo kelol fango keda woto le ngaji wi ko femman taraje na man ke sembo le ti doron yaji sembo ibe wala nyini kan bankun ko ntele lafta sembo la katambi nyindodi bitu hadamadi ya nata jelato ibe la central use la waleto ila cold wall starter wolto ibe spyol kila nyokan ibe tanyo la kullo jibela ibe ne ba report la nyoa ni la kullo nyinin la tata inate ko nyini be nyin joran sifale dada kan itol fana ya ko masika wode da wala mimbe bora la wol tati tubabol beta kan tene bela ibela economy tale ba spend la weapon all bala manufacturing oil. So America mim we could wolem wall power to be near Russia jibe ila military yaji ika nyodan janne to ni nyodan nyin kudo to nyindobe nyin dan na kudo to le but ni nata nuclear weapon olto Russia le ta warata bake katambe America ti sain ning America warata Russia ta sembo warta Russia te nyin weapon dolla but nuclear weapon auto among sembo ma warati word wo kelobe win la nyaadile so walati na dol mini hakilo suto bake ya lonko niaje neto ma move to do anything pour que Ukraine makoy ya lonnako iba nyamento ke kanne yaje bi ibe jorangol takanne ba di ka Ukraine la iba fola civilian ol fangoy ko yef inti ye jorangol ta yete la banko defend itol se wodoro ne keno Cairo e sabati folong bari ni Russia e Ukraine mume be mutafa pareta ako sain nasate dol min yalon ko wo satel fanam bentele koto nung yaji den deto ye bonding koto yela demokrasi na feji naka beta wo satel fanan noma kelobe commencer la jelto because wo satel dol wolbe neto koto le yaje ebe euro konole so nay wol ma dorong den euro sign ila ke kula yabe dan na wole to foyse wuli doro ye kuke ni woke dorong nyinkelobe continuer la wole fe so walati na last week nga moyko Russia la I order di ila nuclear site wala le pour ye preparation okay yaje minem wo kibarul be ka fo nyina kam pour ka tande dunia la ko ndebe pare ri nyina la yaajal aliano ne ko nyimbe mbulle already but sign dunia kata nyaminte fonante sonna na bankoy turutumbung katu nimma woke ndebe fola Russia fanam binala kafu ntolla Russian ya na adol nina traditional bebe bondilam blokonole altol antuba bol tale benan tolkan so pour que wo defend nali je jibe alba jele lako Christian sifa le bije mini yalonko hani put in la military fan wol fon ye la on military soto Russia konole yaji wala nim Putin be kafuri nyola endo newo nyaton ko dina nyaton ko be diamula ka wala fa ko wolem Russia ti ning Russia fota woto radoro Russia manke fenti kotange So Russia fana mala own superpower leti. Bar ñindol fana lafta la wo symbole bondila bulo kono. Ka nyamen tota ibe ala satel kun satel mimba koto ibe doman kuntula ibe joinin de ka euro kan. Putin ya wala jibe ko saing akanyanta la akanyanta nimman mamman saing ñing mbe fola ñin satela le. Bar kanyin satela Russia ya londi fonse wuli ngakelo kumasi. Mbekelo kumasi la nyadile ye satel min tambulo kono mbe wolle tala kotenke mbe murla wolle ka ngebe murundi nan koto. Bar say naya murundin akoto. Natara setano ba kono hani say atiaje ko say lafta sembo ta lafta mo sembo sotolale. Dena contineta kado euro kono. It like the same thing like it. Awulita Jews ole kanga fongola banko kan. Yaji. Bari wol meti la banko kanne bela sate dominate la. Manan kungo mume be wotumo jamane kono nyin juso le ya soto bitikol doku betol itollem. Nyinne wo kelo fango wulinde fo biring idlaw nata adunta politics kono ay woka la political kele langoti comme nyinan tol kamim fo Gambia biring nyindo le tribalism ta ya dundina politiko kono ntol ngaje ko Hitler la finto dunia kono akuma sita nim politiko le yaje barbi mojale wolong min yalon ko be sila le ko ka fu platform le to amal siya ambadingol alngang hakilotu nseng hakilotu minala wala na banko kata nyami bin tolbe nyanta fintila la ngatili nyeng government kang ngatandila ko ibe kodi tinya minna na banko kang anyanta stop la le right away yamoy ko duni abeta kan silo la mi yalon ko kodi tinya wo wato tambitale Minister of Agriculture alngata nga la ministry bunda konkong bele nyanta tala ngata wo ministry to ngata tandala ko ate ministry ate la doko mu pour ka Gambia la fanko londi ka Gambia ta kala independent diala wo Gambia la independent be start la mentole nin Gambia ya start ka fandani ni wato mina wo wato le Gambia la independent be start la en mimbe wo facilitate la wala wo Ministry of Agriculture then ngata government kang mi yalan ko wala ka banko la kodo mu me beta sawo say tolle kala taya talantalang dawodanto ministry o ministry mimbitalaji alnga tandila ko from now on kodo sembo be nyanta duna agriculture le kono pour kan la Gambia sama dolal sembentu ya ise samata ise doko ke pour banko ya fandani ni no because nim banko ma fandani ni dunia kata te nyamin nin woketa Gambia le follow Gambia hani kelo man futaje Gambia be konkolale unless nka min fote nga woke mbe nga finti nga ta nga tandi nyen government yang minister la anila minister la ko dunia tambita tulungo lale ibe tulungo minna ya stop ye sobe ya nafi nga tiling president Barokang nga tandala ko politiko bantale saing sobe ya wale nata naman sakunda nyanta falindiro jela jele by now wo falindiro naman kumasi president o manantul nya tilingola aya tandin nako atela nyin sanji lulu ala aba sambala tenne woto alnga forosi ay finti nam fentabulu alnga faya ji ay bankodi modo la mi yalon ko wobe parela le ay lomol nya tilingola tandin na abenna banko sambala nyaming yaji alnga fanne ne bula mbe min be ke kem be de minna nyanta be bula lale man so malonde bad bi dunia be da minga mantara tenkundinde ndum mimbe ke kan ase waranole there is every possibility pour ay wala walem bese wota nga kenna mira rol kono anim fanam be min fokan ntol Gambia nol mini be jam mini yalon ko ye kodibal tale ye mabo ya start ke la kodo ke miri la kodo la ide beta home le ya invest je bare kori kense ngoy tara la riye la bank ali mira la bake ndere bonde bitengo so mate nyintengo min kanamba ko masila na kodo hafu be mba stad la ka transfer back to Gambia bi konte de do ko kala jan sanje muanga nim feng ila yin nonsense katato ya mi ba ke ka yenane la economic ye foko yana foko ibe na kodo mutala ani o nimbe o plan lam fako e bitu sa fo mbadi ngol ya sa kon min yalanko ikananda platform to le kana jibe malik mane minefo to nyine munna fotati kele follow na banko alimbe na katoke mbe sembo mi na pantala banko to ay tala indu nga kumasi na domorol folola ninga woke tubabol mindiate yake otontol batate mala bar bibi na nata man kulungo man na Gambia dulin kulungo man na Gambia forinya kulungo man na Gambia rangol be kumasi lale mbe musol jele be tarral lori rambalto kumbol be kumasi la fente fo Greater Banjul area mume be ni wolte tata Marcel to ka fefen ke la panel kono e kananan most of it abuka bo Gambia nyena muntala silan nate walati nanko ngana jang naliye kacha do bato nimme nyin kacha moy fanan abe mako ila le la mira role faring at some point la baraka bake me programo dan na jan sai sarfana sitan to la janne ta salol la baraka bake la min jiba inimbara bake so ya sedi kan mal be konton wana alhaji baji bakari fati musa sise yo medan na jade to foning ala yake arabalungo wala aramisalungo ning any updates sort about dunia la nyin cool kata nyaming then we will come and talk about it bararim besa aken hakilol kono ko adoba to sai wato sita le sai puru mbenga na diamol lafa about na banko sambanya finance minister benyanta kela na do kwalti sai nga diamu president o na diamu kangol moyko ntolbe daminto sai mbe worried mbakele because dunia kata nyaming amantol nyabo panen dunia beta wo nyama mimben tol mimmi atinan tol nyam mambo wo fe wolen na banko fango be nyaming na banko be semberi wandi banko la nyaming yaji na kontane kuol na balu kuol kabo banta la nyaming sai ninku bena kela banta nyine be kelanto la de won koti wala tinan nata kadiyamu ala baraka bake badigol ala mantili nyanna kayrala. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.